Welcome to April 19th, 2023 regular meeting of the Valley Unified School District Board of Education. The time is 5:30. Please be advised that a recording or a broadcast of this meeting is being made at the direction of the board. Clerk Troutman, please take roll.
Board President Anguiano.
Present.
Board Trustee Martinez Lara is absent. Board Trustee Leslie Nogales. Present. Board Trustee Shelley Ruiz. Present. And I, Clerk Troutman, am present. Please let the record reflect that we have a quorum.
Thank you. Item 1.2, Pledge of Allegiance. We would like to invite the Valley Unified School District Color Guard to lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Face. Forward. Arch. Left. Left. Right. Left. 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 Right. Left. 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 Mark time. March. Color. Hold. Forward.
Thank you. Item 1.3, adopt the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
So we do have one change on item number 9.2, which is regarding the change order regarding the filter. In the recommended action, there's a term in there that says deductible. We want you to strike that, as well as there will be another amended change that will be provided to the board, which we can discuss at that time when we get to that item.
Thank you. Any other changes to the agenda? No? Okay. May I have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as posted or discussed? As amended?
I move. A second.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Nogales. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, agenda is adopted with a 4-0 vote. Item 1.4, student presentation. I would like to invite Dr. Kazi Bush to introduce this evening's student presentation. Sorry.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. I'd like to introduce some very popular students this evening. Our first student who's going to give us a presentation is from Nicollet Middle School, and that is Keegan. Is Keegan here? No, you're filling in. So then let me do this. Filling in for Nicollet and for Banning High School, we have with us Lily Yang, and Lily's going to kind of give a presentation on behalf of her high school, Banning High School, as well as Nicollet. Come on down.
Good evening, Board President Anguiano, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the Banning community. I am not Keegan, but she is the 8th grade president at the Nicollet Middle School. And I'm here to share with you all the Palomino pride that has happened in the past month. Campus news. Cadet Corps competed at Los Alamados Joint Training Base in the California Cadet Corps annual drill competition on April 4th. They are also scheduled to conduct community service at the March Air Force Base area this coming Saturday and Sunday. Friday Night Live has been busy attending multiple conferences. The first conference was in San Diego, the Spring Jam 2023 Youth Conference. This conference offered educational workshops on a variety of team-related issues. The second conference Friday Night Live attended was Mountain Days to connect with other Southern California vibrants. Palominos enjoyed an adventurous day in the sun and celebrated healthy lifestyle choices by hanging out with friends and having a day of fun. Yesterday, April 18th, 8th grade students attended a field trip to the March Airfield Museum while their students were able to learn how science and math have worked together to build and fly warplanes. Avid, ASB, and Web group girls attended a STEM conference at Harvey Mudd College. The theme of the conference was "The Future is Mathematical, from TikTok to Transformers." While there, the girls engaged with various presenters, including Dr. Ozzie Bush, and participated in market-based projects that focus on math and science. Sports news. Boys volleyball won their last two games. We were 2-1. Girls softball had also started, and the girls are enjoying the season. Today, students who earned their PAAC track number 3 stickers enjoyed a blackout dance with snacks and other surprises. Tomorrow, April 20th, Nicollet will host their spring open house. Please stop by for department presentations, games, and lots of food. Thank you. Good evening, President Adriano, distinguished members of the school board, Superintendent Davis, members of the cabinet, and our community. My name is Lily Yang, and I am the Associated Student Body President of Banning High School, the home of the Broncos. I hope that you all had a fun and relaxing spring break. To recap our past events, ASB has started to prepare for college signing day. We have been making signs for the senior school and take photos with. Today, we had an assembly given by Miss Abernathy, MLK, and Rob Abernathy, a personal reflection. This assembly was a capturing moment for all the students. I, along with many other students, learned about the civil rights movement and what Miss Abernathy grew up in. It was a big learning experience that I was glad to be a part of. The upcoming cabinet for ASB has been solidified. I am very excited for everyone to see the new members in action. I believe that they will only expand the spirit and strength within the school and community. We have also started our April Autism Awareness events. Every Monday, we are wearing blue to spread awareness. Now for our upcoming events. On Monday, April 24th, we will be starting our spirit week. Monday is Team Up for Autism, wear blue. Tuesday, being individual, crazy self day. Wednesday, put bullying to bed, wear PJs. Thursday, blend together for autism, wear tie-dye. And Friday, Broncos are stronger together, wear green. Mental Health Awareness Month is in May. Banning High School with the Riverside San Bernardino County Indian Health Clinic are hosting an inaugural mental health awareness walk and jog on Friday, April 28th from 8:45 to 11:15 a.m. The theme is "I'm Here for You," which was designed by outstanding. The event kicked off with creative first singers and dancers on the JVs, as well as speakers. The event will be on our JVs and varsity baseball. As students dance, think of walks, a further variety of community sources. It should be great event, and I really appreciate your involvement. 2023 will be on May 13th at the Desert Willow Golf Club. The juniors are hard at work finalizing plans and selling tickets. They have chosen the theme Midnight Garden. Our Aloha Pep Rally is on May 19th, and we have been planning the script and collecting photos from the seniors for our slideshow. I would like to invite you to come and participate in the Pep Rally with us. The seniors will also be going to Disney 30th for Grand Night. Thank you, and I hope to see you at the upcoming events.
April and May are proving to be very busy months. And so giving us an overview of activities at Combs Alternative would be Lucy Guzman. And we'd love to hear from you at this time. Lucy, come on up.
Good evening, Board President Emiliano, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the banking community. I am Lucy Guzman, a senior from New Horizons High School and a proud member of the class of 23. Now is the time to shine the spotlight on Coombs. The March Open House was a great family success. Family and distinguished guests saw firsthand the exciting classes and programs at Coombs. And the taco truck was so yummy. State testing is here. Good luck to all the juniors who have been preparing for their ELA math and science assessments. You got this. Coombs students will share another great career readiness event as they travel to Riverside Community College to tour the campus and its state-of-the-art print shop. Let's give a special shout out to all of the senior banning/Vermont students of the month for their hard work and their well-deserved honors. We are so proud of them. They are now preparing their Student of the Year scholarship applications due this month. We are looking forward to the fast approaching Student of the Year dinner at Apple Creek Park, which will honor them all. PBIS rewards means improved academics and attendance. Coombs family will celebrate this together at Knott's Berry Farm. The esports with Mr. Preventure has officially started. Special thank you to all who made our new esports computer lab possible. The co-ed softball team is looking forward to the return of sunshine and more games as they round up to the end of their exciting season. As our year with the AIM project comes to a close, we are looking forward to our final leadership retreat to Lake Paris. Graduating seniors complete a career readiness portfolio, write their very own winning attitude statements, reflecting on their time and prizes. Through these, their words encourage fellow classmates to earn their diplomas too. March Student of the Month, Angelina of School Road. I am who I am, so are you. With our attitude and our passion, we can do anything to put our minds to. Thank you to Angelina and all of our seniors for continuing to inspire each of us every day. Thank you for allowing me to share her concerns.
Thank you very much, and that concludes our student reports for the evening.
Okay, item 1.5, student board member comments, Elizabeth Zavala. We will now have our student board member, Elizabeth Zavala, share her
You have to stand. Okay. Can we keep it on or no?
Hello. Hello. I'll just do my best. Okay. Good evening, Board President Armiano, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Davis, and members of the banning community. For this month's meeting, I would like to shine light on our banning meeting by seniors. As we are about to cross the finish line, our futures are ready themselves for us. Whatever our futures may be, I know that when we can succeed and make a mark in our community. I believe that deeply. This past month of March, college acceptances started to roll out. This was a very tense time on campus, as many students were awaiting decisions to their dream schools. And I'm excited to say that many of the seniors have shown that hard work we saw. With acceptances from Berkeley, UCLA, Cal Poly, San Luis Obispo, San Diego State, Santa Barbara, and many others are to be found in themselves. My classmates have shown me it is to be a banning ground to it. Because of this, I am so honored to be a part of the class of 2023. The class of 2024 has some big shoes to fill. Our very own Miguel Martinez won the Rivers Average Scholarship. This is a very big deal, as no one from banning has been a recipient in the last 10 or so years. Miguel is a hard worker and that deserves to be acknowledged. He is one of the smartest people I know, and he will do great things for himself and others. I've had the pleasure of being able to grow up beside him, and I am so proud of him. He plans on attending the CFUSD and studying nursing. If you do see him, please congratulate him. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Item 1.6, opportunity for community comments, closed session items. Did we receive any community comments?
No comments were received.
Okay, thank you. Now we're going to go ahead and go to item 2, closed session. The board will now go into closed session with time of 5:45. Thank you. All right, item 3, open session. We are back from closed session. Thank you for your patience. The time is 7:49. Clerk Troutman, please take roll.
Board President Anguiano,
Present.
trustee Martinez Laura is not present.
Present.
Trustee Novellus,
Present.
trustee Ruiz,
Present.
and I, the Department is president, and president, excuse me, please let the record reflect that we have a forum.
Thank you. And just for the record, trustee Martinez Laura was present during closed session. Okay, item 3.1, report of closed session. Clerk Troutman, please share.
Item 2.1 in closed session, the board discussed the evaluation process for the superintendent. Item 2.2 in closed session, the board received information and took action. In closed session, the Board of Education approved expulsion case 2022, 23, 29 for the 22, 23 school year. Motion was made by trustee Ruiz, seconded by President Anguiano, and carried on a 5-0 vote. In closed session, the Board of Education approved case 2022-23-31 for the 2022-23 school year. Motion was made by trustee Ruiz and seconded by President Anguiano and carried on a 5-0 vote. And item, or for case 2022-23-24, that has been tabled until the next board meeting. Item 2.3 in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.4 in closed session, the board received information and was updated and gave direction. Item 2.5 in closed session, the board received information and was updated. Item 2.6 in closed session, the board received information and took action on the following. In closed session, the Board of Education approved the appointment of Kirsten Carlson for elementary assistant principal. Motion was made by trustee Ruiz and seconded by President Anguiano and carried on a 5-0 vote. Congratulations. In closed session, the Board of Education approved the appointment of Matt Valdivia for child welfare and attendance coordinator. Motion was made by trustee Ruiz and seconded by President Anguiano and carried on a 5-0 vote. Congratulations.
Good evening, President Anguiano, Clerk Troutman, distinguished board members, Superintendent Terrence Davis, colleagues and community. It is my distinct pleasure on behalf of the Banning Unified School District Board of Trustees and Superintendent Terrence Davis. We are excited to announce Ms. Kirsten Carlson as elementary assistant principal for the Banning Unified School District. Mrs. Carlson has been an educator for over 17 years, spending the last 15 at Riverside Unified School District as a special education teacher. During her time at Riverside, she has served on several committees and is the special academic instructional team leader district-wide. She also is a certified professional assault crisis trainer for the Riverside Unified School District since 2016. Ms. Carlson received her bachelor's degree in liberal arts and master's in education from Cal Baptist University. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kirsten Carlson to the Banning Unified School District.
Thank you very much for this opportunity and a chance to become part of the Banning family and to come into the community and get to know all of you and to make a difference in the lives of your families and in the community. I really look forward to all the opportunities that will be here and the growth that's coming into this community. That's the exciting part to me. I see all the growth that's coming and all the exciting changes, and I think you guys are in a really exciting time, and I'm really excited to get to be a part of that. So thank you very, very much.
Our next introduction needs no introduction. But we are also excited to announce Mr. Matt Valdivia as the Child and Welfare and Attendance Coordinator for the Banning Unified School District. Mr. Valdivia has been the proud principal of Banning High School, home of the Broncos, for the last 8 years. He has 29 years of experience in public education as a teacher, department leader, middle school athletic coach, support administrator, and principal. Mr. Valdivia has earned several honors and distinctions throughout the years. He is a 3-time Nicollet Middle School Teacher of the Year, Banning Unified School District Teacher and Support Administrator of the Year, and was the 2019 Warchasm Principal of the Year. He also earned a Cesar E. Chavez Leadership Award and Rockefeller Scholar Honorable Mention. Mr. Valdivia has worked tirelessly to create a safe, secure, positive climate and culture while rebranding Banning High School and building our house, Bronco Strong. Please join us in welcoming Matt Valdivia as the Child Welfare and Attendance Coordinator for the Banning Unified School District.
Thank you, Mr. Baker, and I'm a man of very few words. And I know that's somewhat of a joke, but I really am so appreciative of this opportunity. I was sharing with the board just a few minutes ago that this is an opportunity for me to really cast a wider net and expand, because I think that the time that I've had with the middle school and now, of course, with the high school, I have so much more to give and so much more to offer the district, our students, our families, and for me to be a presence, to be a support for all of our staff, I think is going to be instrumental as we turn the page and go to the next level. Because I'm looking forward to working with all of you to take this school district to where it belongs, and that is to the heights of greatness. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you and welcome to the new role. All right, item 3.2, opportunity for community comments, and we did receive 2. I'll go ahead and read the script. Individuals who wish to address the board on matters which affect the district and its programs are requested to complete a request to address the Board of Education card and submit it to the administrative assistant. Speakers are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. While the board welcomes input from the community, they will not respond or take action during public comments. The board may decide to refer matters to the district staff or take under advisement for a future meeting. All speakers are reminded to be respectful and courteous. And our first one is Ms. Jennifer Serrano.
You might have to turn it up.
Yeah, hold that for me. Good evening, Jennifer Serrano, president of CSCA from here in Banning. I would like to take this opportunity, and want to take that out. The district and the superintendent gave us a chance, and they sent a team to the CSCA Special Education Parent Educator Conference about 2 weeks ago, I believe it was. And we would like to present you guys with a card and our many thanks for giving us this opportunity. We took a team of 7, and it was amazing. It was the first time that I actually got to go to support my team, and it was a great experience, and we took away a lot of knowledge. We have some ideas that I'll probably share with you later, but thank you for the opportunity, and we have a card to present to the leadership team. So thank you for that.
Okay, and Ms. Jennifer Serrano. Serrano has a second request to address the board.
Thank you, and if I can have Ms. Carrie Shook join me.
Okay.
CSCA and its chapter 147 would like to present Carrie Shook a certificate of service
that she has served for us as past president and president. And we are so proud of you. We have not had somebody from our units promote up the way you have, and we are very, very proud of you, and we know you will make us proud. Thank you for your years of service, Carrie. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other community comments? Okay. Item 3.3, BTA comments. I would like to invite a BTA president, Mr. Anthony Garcia.
Mr. Garcia is available online, however, will not be presented for speech.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Okay, item 3.4, CSBA comments. All done? No? This is done. So, yeah. I would like to welcome CSBA President Jennifer Serrano.
I'm back. Hi, I'm Jennifer Serrano, President of Chapter 147. I'll just make this short and brief. First of all, welcome, Kristen. I'm excited to work with you here in Banning Unified School District. And Mr. Valdivia, welcome to the team. Congratulations. Thank you, that's all.
Great, thank you. Item 4.1, superintendent comment.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, our community, and everyone in the room and folks down in the room listening. So just a few things to report tonight. First off, I want to thank our board of trustees for the opportunity to serve our students, our staff, and our community. Everything we do in schools, not only in Banning, but across our nation, is hard work. People show up every day and do things that are impossible, but they do it. They do it because they care about students and they care about each other. So I want to thank the board for the opportunity to serve our community. I'm committed 100% plus to seeing change, to improve where we're at. Wherever we're at, that's where we are, but seeing that change it's remarkable together. As I talk about our district, no matter where I am, and I do that everywhere I am, I've been talking about just where I feel we are on solid ground and moving forward, and really at a pivotal point to kind of expand. But what was interesting, as Ms. Lynette White, our district community, I'm messing it all up. Our district community relations coordinator, and I kind of went out from site to site. What was interesting is as people started to talk, they were saying the same thing that I've been talking about. The staff overall, now this doesn't mean there aren't challenges, there are always challenges. But overall, staff talked about and shared with her, they're feeling really good about where we are and where we're going. And that is a good feeling to be a part of. Because that's not done by one individual, that's done by a team, a group of people. So I'm very grateful for that. Next thing I want to talk about is an event that happened last night at the Riverside Convention Center, which was the RCOE, Riverside County Office of Education's Student Academic Awards. And this is an annual event. I believe it was the 17th annual event where students across our county are recognized for their academic achievement and performance. So these are the top performing students basically in the county. And in our county, Riverside County, which is one of the largest counties in California, there are over 430,000 students. And last night we had 4 students that were honored. I just want to share their names with you. We had Sandra Enos from Banning Independent Study School. Yes, Banning Independent Studies. Man, I just always mess stuff up. We had Sophia Waters from New Horizons. We had Miguel Rangel and Mariana Padilla from Banning High School. And last night, Miguel Rangel was the exceptional graduate that represented Banning High School. So it was a great night for those students, and I got to spend a little bit of time with them and their families, accompanied by Dr. Bush, Ms. Anguiano, Mr. Valdivia and Dr. Lee, as well as a teacher from New Horizons, as well as Ms. Soto. So it was a great event, and so I just want to share those names because we have students doing great things. And it's not new. We're not all of a sudden doing great things. We've been doing great things for a long time, and we're just highlighting them and supporting them. And lastly, I want to talk about the BEST Awards, which is the Bilingual Education Support Team Awards. This is a county program, a county program. And this Friday night, we have a few folks that will be honored. We have Miss Estella Castro. She's the, what did I mess up now? Okay, Mahia Castro. She's a bilingual clerk at Capizon Elementary. That's why I'm getting daggers over here from Mr. Baker. We have Miss Nala Marina, 5th grade teacher and ELD coordinator at Hoffer Elementary. Finally, we have a parent and community member volunteer, Maria Geronimo from Banning Unified School District from Central Elementary School. So they will be honored this Friday for their commitment and excellence to bilingual education. So I just want to put those names into space because we're really proud of our folks. They work really hard. So again, thank you for the opportunity.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis. Item 5, consent calendar. Okay, do we have,
the recommendation is to approve consent calendar agenda items 5.2 through 5.4 as provided. All matters listed under the consent calendar agenda are considered to be routine and enacted by one motion and vote. There is no separate discussion of these items prior to the time the Board of Education considers the motion, unless a member of the board or administrative staff requests that specific items be discussed and or removed.
do we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar agenda as provided?
I move. A second.
I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Nogales. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Hearing none. Motion passes 4-0. Item 6, special legal and discussion items. Item 6.1, student services appointment, community advisory committee members.
This item is for the board to approve the appointment of Maria Lopez Torres as a member of the Community Advisory Committee for a 2-year term for the 2023-24 and 2024-25 school years.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 6.1?
I second.
Any discussion or question? Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Ruiz to approve item 6.1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. And we'll have Dr. Quasi Bush introduce our new committee member.
Good evening, again, President Troutman, with President Armiano, Clerk Troutman, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Davis, and the community at large. I would like to introduce Mrs. Lopez Torres because she will be our representative of the SELPA Special Education Local Plan Area Community Advisory Council Committee Chair. And if you could just come up, we'd just like to formally recognize you and we could please give her a moment. Just a little bit about this committee. It is comprised of parents of students who have special needs or who are designated to have an IEP. It is also comprised of community members who have an interest as well in terms of the needs of our students. And this is a very prestigious committee to be a part of. And we appreciate the dedication and the time you've given in the 3 years that I've been here. I know your name very, very well. And I say that
jokingly, but in all seriousness, because you understand the seriousness of what is at stake for students. And so we just want to thank you for being nominated for this position.
Yes, thank you, and welcome, Maria Lopez Torres. I know you're a very strong advocate. We're really lucky to have you be a member of the committee. Okay. Item 7, educational services, 7.1, educational service district quarterly report on the Williams uniform complaints.
This item is information only.
Are there any questions regarding item 7.1? All right, no question. Item 7.2, educational services district portables rewiring project.
This item is for the board to approve the expenditure to rewire the district office portable buildings.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 7.2?
We'll move to open and discuss.
Any discussion or question?
Well, we did have some discussion last week on that, and I was wondering, have we come to any different changes or different conclusions from last week?
And I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. That's not good. So 7.2, this is about the portables, right? So what we have done is we've had Keenan come out to review those portables to ensure that it is safe, because there were some concerns about mold and is the space appropriate, so they have done an assessment. And there are a few things that we can do internally in-house to shore up some of the things that they recognize, as well as the wiring project. There's lights and there's basic structure in there, but what's not in there is any hard IT lines and service, and they did change some of the light structure. So that is an appropriate space, and we are working on who would be in that space. And so I know there's been some concerns and conversations in the past about moving large groups of people into this tiny space, and so we are not, that would not be appropriate given the size of the space. So what we're looking at in one of the portables is having new staff that we have. So just going to say it out loud right now. So we have Mr. Shilrick is new in his role. We have Ms. Lynette White, as well as we have now a CWA coordinator. And so they would be on a part of that section, which would give them space to do work. And the other part is looking at moving centralized registration only to the space. That way parents are not coming up and then they're sent somewhere else. And so we want to be more conducive to customer service. So it allows us a little bit more flexibility while keeping the existing student services and educational services intact. However, there may be some revisions to that, just looking at, are there other ways that we can utilize the space? So it is in a good space.
All right, thank you for that. I do want to voice that I am disappointed that we took out wiring, and now that we are investing money to rewire it, I hope that as a district, we're able to make more prudent decisions, especially when it involves money that can be used for our students. Also, I wanted to ask, what are we going to do with the parking area, pick up, drop off, the safety concern, if we're going to be utilizing these portables more actively?
So Ms. Kokajabi just stepped out. Seemed like that was perfect timing because it deals with Central. And so I know it has been a longstanding concern with pickup, drop off, and students walking through cars. I mean, it's a dangerous space. So this has been a part of the conversation with the safety committee. Mr. Sherwood and I actually talked about this yesterday or the day before as well. I don't know if we talked about it in the Senate cabinet, but the goal would be to vet out a way where there is one way in that parking lot and one way out. And then vet that through the parents, the teachers, and the staff at the site, and then hopefully get to a trial run for the end of the school year. And actually see if we can close off that entrance that's right at First Street. That way there are no cars that go there. So one way in, one way out, that would prove for some parents who walk their students to school that they're not in the middle of traffic with cars. And so in order to do that, anytime we make any changes, especially with elementary traffic flow, that is a major ordeal that we have to vet out appropriately. So we plan to do that and get to a point where we can do a trial run for the end of the year to determine if that will work to rectify some of the challenges.
Thank you. And one more concern regarding the portables. I'm very aware of kittens and skunks underneath the portables and having our little ones have to leak because it smells. So what are we going to do regarding those 3 portables and the concern for those features?
Easy, Michael.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Evening, Madam President, Treasurer's board members, Superintendent Davis.
I don't know if it's on.
Flip it up.
Or closer.
Is it on?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. We are addressing that by trying to first trap the animals and remove them from the property and then seal off the portables. We've come up with a trap door effect that allows the animal to come out of the portable but not go back into it. So we don't get them trapped underneath the portable. Once we've determined that all critters are out, the portables will be properly sealed, so they cannot get back underneath. In those areas where there's dirt and they're digging underneath it, we're gonna dig down, put in a chicken wire defense, bury it about 2 feet down, that'll keep them from digging back up underneath it.
And is that for all portables in our district?
Yes, those are for portables that we're experiencing this problem. We're vetting it portable by portable as we're having that situation.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. I have a motion from Ms. Ruiz and a second from Ms. Navales to approve item 7.2. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Item 8, human resources. 8.1, renewal of internship program memorandum of understanding.
This item is for the board to approve the renewal of the University of Massachusetts Global Memorandum of Understandings for the 2023 through 26 school years.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 8.1?
I move.
I second.
Okay, any discussion or question? Okay, hearing none. I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Navales to approve item 8.1. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. Item 9, business services. 9.1, safety campus, safety conference.
This item is for the board to approve the attendance to the 2023 Campus Safety Conference.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.1?
I move to open and discuss. I second.
Any discussion or question? I do. Have we decided which staff members will be attending the safety conference?
Do you want to answer?
I can take it.
Good evening. Do you hear me okay? Okay. So my understanding is that we're looking at bringing 4 people along for that. And no, we have not identified which 4 members of our district will attend. But that is my understanding, is that we've allocated enough resources for 4 attendees. So this is something too, and maybe it will be addressed in the recap from our safety committee meeting that's towards the end of the agenda here. This is something that was discussed as part of the last safety committee meeting. And it will likely be something that is finalized when we meet again next Wednesday on the 26th.
So one of the things I want to add is because this position is new to our district, sometimes when things come up, it's kind of a trial and error. There's a lot of choices out there. Do we do this or do we do that? Do we go to this conference or that conference? And so one of the things we discussed is it's going to take a little while for Mr. Short to vet out what are those good conferences, or these are the industry standard places where we need to go. So we kind of looking at our resources, being conservative to try that out, but I did look at this one and look at, like it is all encompassing. There's MOT, there's security, there's a lot of different factors to ensure things are safe, so we just need to figure out who would be the best fit to go. That's it.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? No? Okay, I have a motion for Ms. Ruiz and a second for Ms. Troutman to approve item 9.1. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Item 9.2, business services, change order number 2, Field Trip USA. Inc.
This item is for the board to approve change order number 2 to the contract with Field Trip USA Inc. for the landing and school stadium as provided.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.2?
I move to open and discuss.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion or question?
That would hold this.
Oh, this was to discuss the change, it's additional change, so it wasn't fully was going to discuss the additional revision that was posted to the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Yes. We're still discussing, or are we waiting
Yes,
for
no, we're
presentation, or we? You ready, Mr. Herbert?
I am.
For my question, I meant.
Yes, what would be the question for this item, or would you like me to go over how we got to today in the revision of this agenda item? Is that appropriate?
I would like to know if we have a timeline.
We do have a timeline. The timeline is still to meet the graduation deadline. The change order here does aim to complete the project by May 31st. We did build about a 5-week window to anticipate any changes, knowing that as soon as the turf was removed, there is the substrate, the surface underneath the turf that needs to be evaluated. Last week, the evaluation indicated that only about 4 inches of the surface needed to be removed, which is the change order that was initially provided, which was estimated about $40,000. Since then, due to one, the original installation of the foundation for the turf, at that point, the industry standard was not to do a cement base, meaning that we're relying totally on the clay natural dirt, which does cause some issues when we have a rainy season like we have this season. Also, there were some issues with the drains that were existing on the track and on the field that did not allow for the proper drainage of water. And so what changed from last week to this week is that once the machinery was in place to move forward with that smaller change order, it was noticed that the surface was had like a waterbed effect to it, meaning that if it would step on one side of the field, it would then elevate another section of the field. All that to say that the change order that is being recommended for approval today, it is over $500,000. And the reason for this significant increase in cost is because it will require full removal and full installation of a cement base, and then also put the bedrock to then be able to support a field for the next 25 years. And so what this means that if we have a 10-year life cycle for a turf, the base of the foundation will be prepared to the current industry standard to then be able to support a field or replacement of a field in the future as well.
How long is this guaranteed?
The quote itself,
The work.
the guarantees are, and I'll defer over to Mr. Pace in just a second here. The guarantees for the work is to pretty much complete it, be able to provide level field. Again, the life cycle of the actual cement base is at least 25, and Mr. Pace is probably going to say 30 years. However, as far as the warranties, it's pretty much limited to, and I'll go ahead and defer to Mr. Pace as far as how long the warranties will be outstanding. So, Mr. Pace?
Thank you very much. Your question again, if I
My
understand.
question is, how long?
Thank you.
We are looking at $1.2 million. And my question is, how long is this guarantee?
The base of the field will be guaranteed for 25 years. The turf itself I don't recall right off the top of my head, but I believe it's an 8-year warranty on the turf. Life expectancy on the turf is between 10 to 12 years.
So how much is it to just replace the turf if we have to do that later?
The original quote was for 708,000, but we cannot do that at this point. What is taking place, and maybe I can explain it a little better.
No, wait, I'm stopping.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She means once we do this work
Mhm.
in 10 to 15 years, when we have to replace the turf again, how much is that gonna
Just the turf?
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much for clarification. It'll be roughly about the same cost. It'll be between $70,000 and $100,000, depending on what escalation of cost is and stuff of that nature.
So, the only reason I'm getting involved because I've heard a lot about this. So basically, because you guys talk in different languages sometimes.
Mhm.
So basically, under the bottom part of it was never cemented.
No, I get all of it.
So doing that now, that is a huge
Is it
additional
like-
cost, but it will, so that won't have to be done and guaranteed for at least
I
25
get
years.
that part.
But the top,
That's. my-
yes, that is going to always need revision. Part of the challenge, and correct me if I'm wrong, is I'm not sure it was maintained when it first started to now as it should have been. There probably was maintenance, but not the way it should have been to kept it in better, but now it has to be. We're spending all these dollars, and so that is a part of Mr. Page's responsibility.
Correct. And in the quote is a maintenance agreement with the installer to come out biannually and maintain it, and also to provide us with equipment so we can do minor maintenance on a quarterly basis, and they can come out, I'm sorry, on a yearly basis and do major maintenance, which would include disinfecting, completely refilling the turf, fluffing it back up, and our in-house staff would be the quarterly maintenance on it. And part of the original quote of the 708,000 supplies us the equipment to do so, and 8-year service agreement to maintain the field.
And I'm guessing we do have a calendar with dates for the quarterly so that we don't miss one.
Yes. That'll be part of our preventative maintenance program for the landscaping as a whole and all of the athletic department out here at Banning High School.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one more question.
Okay.
Who oversees that? You're going to oversee it?
Yes, I will be overseeing that as facilities and its maintenance.
All right, any other questions? No, okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you. I have a motion from Ms. Rudy and a second from Ms. Navala to approve item 9.2. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item 9.3, Business Services Independent Auditor Agreement Amendment.
This item is for the board to approve an amendment to the agreement with Nigel and Nigel PC. Providing audit services.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.3?
I second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none. I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Navalis, or Ms. Navalis to approve item 9.3. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item 9.4, Business Services Contractual Agreement.
This item is for the board to approve and ratify contractual agreements as provided.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.4? Any discussion or question?
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you. Dr. Casarosa. We discussed a new project and we have just talked about getting about looking at all the programs for students and looking at their viability, and I was wondering what you found on that.
And so some of the other programs that we have been looking at in addition to a new project.
I mean, the ones that we have right now, because we have some that I just wanted to see if some of them were more loving.
With a new project, just as an example. Some of the work, just as an example, that a new project does is leadership development and cultivation. And there are other programs that are available. Right now, a new project has been a popular one since the inception of the school year when we had our opening. And so many sites have looked to them to bring a renewed sense of culture and camaraderie among students. And so that one has been very popular. To my knowledge, I haven't seen any other similar types of programs to a new project that sites have brought in. There are others out there, but a new project, particularly because we use them at our district opening, and then Banning High used them, Coombs used them, and Nicolette. It's been popular because of the work they've done with our students here in the district.
Okay, and how much, I wasn't able to open any of this. How much is that?
Thank you, Mrs. Morris.
But we will be getting all that other information, right, about different programs that we're using.
So I'll chime in.
Okay.
So I know that we discussed an agenda review meeting that you guys are gonna compile a table with all of our programs. To
Yes.
ensure that there's no overlap.
Yes,
And also which sites we're utilizing those programs in order to determine their efficacy.
in fact, we do have a spreadsheet that we've already begun, and I apologize, I misunderstood the question, because I was thinking you meant specifically like.
No, not just that.
Yes, we do have a list that we put together of supplemental programs. That would be any kind of program that's above and beyond our core. Some of those might be online programs, some of them might be curricular programs. Because as part of our SIPSA process, as well as the LCAP process, one of the major critical elements is to look at their impact and level of effectiveness. And so we've already begun the process to compile that information.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kathy Bush. I do have a question on it's the gym window, the All-American Glass window for the Nicolette gym window remodel. So I would like clarification. When I opened the document, it had the date of September 28th of 2021, but we're signing it now. What's the clarification with that?
There are quite a few items that we've been in the process of cleaning up, if you will, in terms of getting the proper approvals. At this point, this is an item that the work was completed via a purchase order, and which is ensuring that we have the proper public works contract in place. There's another item in here as well that is just getting the proper figures to ensure that we're bringing all the items to board as required.
So were these approved before, or we're just cleaning up the mess?
It was approved as a purchase order and now is being approved as an item as it should as a public works contract.
Okay, so we're gonna make sure we do the protocol correctly.
Absolutely.
Versus backwards with the purchase order first.
That's correct.
Okay, and then what's the anticipated date for the completion of the replacement of the windows?
This project has already been completed.
Oh, it has.
Yes.
So we're really backward.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Ruiz to approve item 9.4. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item 9.5, business services, board resolution number 23-019.
This item is for the board to adopt resolution number 23-019, authorization to encumber funds for the following fiscal year.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.5?
I move to open and discuss.
I second. Any discussion or question?
Yes, I had asked Mr. Davis in an email about possibly amending the wording, the verbiage, to include a monetary limit. And I will explain the reasoning why there was no monetary limit, and I'm going to invite Mr. Davis to reiterate that for our community.
So let me think about what I said. And then Helen, you may have to clean it up for me. So basically what this resolution does is allows us to start to encumber the dollars for next year. We know in theory, in fact, and we will receive dollars, but to now just start to put those orders in place. That way we can go ahead and start expending money. Now, our budget is scheduled to come to the board twice. First in June, the first meeting, second week in June, and then the last week in June for approval. So this gets us going in advance. So it doesn't, everything still has to be approved and go through the board, but this gets us a head start. Did I say that right? I know you were correct.
Thanks. Any other questions or concerns? No? Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Ruiz and a second from myself to approve item 9.5. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item 9.6, business services monthly fiscal service report.
This item is for the board to approve monthly fiscal services reports, bank reconciliations, purchase orders, warrant summary, and commercial warrant registers.
Is there a motion and a second to open and discuss item 9.6? Who is the second? No, okay. Any questions or discussion or question? Okay, hearing none, I have a motion from Ms. Troutman and a second from Ms. Novales to approve item 9.6. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Hearing none, motion passes 4-0. Item 10, board governance training update.
Thank you. So it continues to be active, and so just a few things that the board is working on. One is Brown Act training. We will be scheduling Brown Act training in July when school is out. So we have a little bit of space that way that keeps the board up to date on the processes and procedures to make sure we're being aligned and are in alignment with the Brown Act. The next training or review is going to be the board bylaws. And board bylaws provide direction and guidance for the board of trustees in terms of how things are done. So I believe there's roughly 42 or so board bylaws. And so right now we have Ms. Martinez Lara and Ms. Novales and myself and probably Edith and maybe some members of the cabinet to sit down on May 5th, which is a Friday, to start review those processes to determine if we need to make any amendments, any changes, deletions, and then if we do, that will come back to the board for full approval. And in addition, we do have some of our board members that are trained in masters in governance. So they are masters in governance. And so one of our board members is going to be embarking upon doing some virtual trainings. And it's a lot of work. So just in saying that, our board is committed to learning, to continue to develop, to work together as a team, which is good. I think actually, if you've been watching these meetings for a while, you can see the change. Say that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis. And I'm not sure if it's appropriate in this section, but Ms. Troutman, myself, and Mr. Davis will be attending a conference named Coast to Coast. And so we are, well, I can speak for myself. I'm nervous and excited at the same time. So I will report back how that goes after the conference. Do you want to share?
I'm just excited too. Nervous.
Excited and nervous. Okay, awesome. So item 10.2, safety committee update.
Good evening. So I just wanted to share some of the agenda items and discussion points that we had when the safety committee last met on March 20th. So this district safety committee had not met for a number of months, October to March. So when we met again, and again, just to share with those of you who are here, this is a committee that's made up and represented by most of the groups that work within our district. So members of our school board, members of our district administration team, BTA members, CSEA members, our security team, the Banning Police Department, all represented by this as part of this committee. And so when we met on March 20th, a lot of the time was really spent analyzing, reviewing where we were as a district and what the needs of our districts were. And really the overarching goal was to stress that there's a need. There's really a need for us to be more proactive in our approaches to safety and security in the district, and really outlining how to do that in a variety of ways. So what we did is we started with looking at the physical security that we have in place currently at all of our school sites, and looking at some of the issues that needed to be addressed to improve safety for students and staff. So those things include things like fencing that we have at our sites, gates, which are a major concern of ours. Shifting towards the industry standard here for schools, which are single points of entries at all of our school sites. Addressing needs that we have for being able to lock our doors internally for our classrooms and offices throughout the district. Address issues with our windows, and address issues with surveillance and our camera systems that we currently have in place. And then we shifted to really looking at the practices that we have here. And this is something that has been shared with me by numerous concerns shared with me by numerous people who are employed by the district. And that's really looking at, what are our approaches to safety and security and what we can do in our practices to improve that. So one of the things we discussed is the adoption of a school emergency program that's going to help us with all of these cases. So Hour Zero was adopted a few months ago to help us, and that's going to help us address things like our emergency plans and evacuation routes. Training for our staff and students, updated site maps that are going to help with any sort of emergency response for local law enforcement, classroom materials, ordering and overseeing site risk assessments, and basically using the resources that we have in place here to analyze issues that we have and make sure those are getting addressed and safety risks are being mitigated. We talked about a need for improving our incident protocols and drills, and that's something that Hour Zero is going to help us address. We also talked about the adoption of our new visitor management system, which has been installed for a number of months at all of our sites. Again, if any of you have visited any of our school sites, you've probably gone through that process. And that's really making sure that the people we let onto our campus and interact with our staff and students are properly vetted. We talked about needing to improve process of organized security. So we've made a lot of improvements now. We've added security officers at multiple sites. Just this year, we've added 4 already, and we're looking to add another 2. So that's been a huge help to us at each of our sites. Spoke about the partnership we have with the Banning Police Department and the 3 SROs that we currently have in place now to meet the needs of the district and the students. We also talked about, towards the end of the meeting, the need to adopt an active shooter response protocol, something that's universal, something that's practiced, a way to have a standardized system at all of our sites. So there's no issues with training. We have clear expectations and how to respond to these. So we spoke a little bit about that. I mentioned that I had an upcoming training, one of these platforms, Alice. I did receive training 2 weeks ago. So both our SROs and myself are not qualified to be instructors in that platform, if that's what we decide to go with. And lastly, we discussed some necessary agenda items for upcoming meetings. So again, we're meeting next Wednesday, the 26th is the next time this group meets. And we've had some reach out to look to add agenda items from various groups throughout the district. Some of the things that have been voiced as concerns are the need to address our emergency supplies. So that includes classroom site supplies, medical supplies, food supplies. And so that is something that I look forward to addressing with this committee coming up as well, and making sure we address those needs.
If I may, you talked a little bit about the security of the sites, and I know we've all heard at the secondary level specifically the need for more security officers. And I know you talked about zones and doing an analysis. Can you just share a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So we currently have 20 security guards employed with the district. Most of our elementary sites have 1 security guard in place. Nicollet Middle School has 7 that have been allocated for that district. The high school has 8. Coombs has 3 currently. We're looking to make additions to Nicollet and Banning High School at the moment. But to elaborate on your question here, really what we want to make sure we're doing is not just throwing more numbers at it. That's not going to address the concerns. That's not going to meet our needs. We need to make sure that we're being smart about how we staff and the skills that the security staff members have. And so what we're doing right now when we're using high schools, it's kind of a pilot program here. As I've worked with the lead security guards and the site administration to develop zones. So you have assignments or beats within the site with a certain set of expectations at certain times of the day. And really, the idea here is to make sure, again, that the numbers meet the needs of our students and staff. And we're being smart about that. And it's data driven. And it's not an issue that can be resolved just simply by hiring more people. We need to be smart and make sure that we have what we need. So it's an ongoing process.
Thank you. Any other questions?
How many more security are we looking to hire for Nicollet? And do you have an idea of how many are there on a daily basis? Because I know there's not 7 there full time.
That's correct. So there are 7 that have been allocated to the site, and that's the past practice, right? So when we talk about needing to reassess potentially and determine what the real number is based on need, that number may change realistically. So 7 staff, there are currently 6 security guards who are employed at Nicollet. There is 1 vacancy currently that we're working on filling. Specifically Nicollet, right? What was your question? So 6 currently, we're staffed for 7 and looking to fill that last spot currently.
Are they full time? The 6 are full time?
They're full-time, yes.
7.5.
So you said you said we're gonna. Okay, you said we're gonna add some positions for the Nicollet, is that including?
No, so the addition would bring us to 7, which is what Nicollet has been allocated in the past.
Okay, I thought we were gonna add 1 or 2 more because we have so many that call off throughout the week. So we have at least a minimum of 5 on campus every day. Because I've spoken with Dr. Thomas on several occasions who she keeps me very informed on the things going on there. And I'm concerned with the absences with security, specifically at Nicollet. And I think we need to up the ante, especially at that site, because if we're assigned 6, but only 2 or 3 show up every day, problem.
No, absolutely. You're absolutely right. So again, that's why any decision that is made needs to be supported by data, right? So that's the reasoning with doing these zoning assignments and then analyzing that. Just for additional context there as well, we do have an additional rover unit. So that's a security unit that operates within the entire district. Because the high school is short staffed, that employee was working at the high school full time for quite a while. Now that the high school numbers have increased, that rover unit has been really helpful in plugging in and helping cover some of these assignments based on absences and call outs at individual sites. Nicollet being one of them, but this includes all of our sites.
Thank you.
I have one more question. Of course. Do you know when the cameras at Nicollet will be repaired?
So this is an ongoing discussion we've been having at the district here. So some updates on that. We brought in a camera company through Verkada, which is a camera platform, to do a site assessment at Nicollet. They were here last week. We actually did another site walk today at the site at Nicollet and brought in Motorola Solutions as well. So really what we're trying to do is get a solid understanding of what we have in place currently. So we've mapped out all of the cameras. We have 302 cameras in the district. There are a number of them that are not currently functional. There are a number of them that are outdated, that have been purchased more than a decade ago in some circumstances. So really what we're trying to do is decide what the best course is going forward. whether, and how we can make sure that there's no lapse in coverage, and we're covering all of these hot zones that we have at all of our sites, and making sure, again, this is a data-driven response by us. So again, the walk here, I did receive a quote from one company today. Since the other walk was conducted today, I'm anticipating feedback from that group next week, is what I was told. So I think that will help. We use Nicolette as, again, kind of like a piloting program here, and really, they're two different platforms. One is closed, and that means that we would only be able to utilize the cameras. The other is open, which would give us more flexibility in bringing in and continuing to use the equipment that is still functional and working well.
I would, sorry. My preference would be to see this done as soon as possible,
Yep.
but realistically, I would like this done absolutely no later than the start of next school year. Absolutely no later, because if we have a fresh start with a new school year, we have all the cameras working and in place, then we can catch issues before they start. So that is my expectation. That, so we won't have as many issues.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you said that too. The newer camera technologies allow us to be, I'm being repetitive here, more proactive than reactive in nature. They have smart features that allow us to address issues before they escalate, which is not currently the case with the camera platform we have or the equipment.
So to add to Ms. Troutman, are we able to get an update as to where we're at with that and what timeline we will be beginning this new system of the camera actually functioning?
So I can share the quotes and the scope of work. Maybe the most appropriate time would be when we meet as a district safety committee on the 23rd, the 26th.
Which is great, but on a weekly board update as well, so the full board is informed, because I know our safety is a huge concern for the full board.
Absolutely.
And I agree with Ms. Troutman, the sooner we can get this going and implemented, the better for our students and our staff.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, thank you. All right, item 11, board member comments. Who would like to go first?
I'd like to go first. Last week or the week before, we had an opportunity to go to Hopper School and see the STEAM in action. And I have to say, coming from a STEAM school that we started, I was very excited to see learning objectives on the board. I was very excited to see drawing questions. I was extremely excited to see student-led activities and student-centered learning. I think that this is something I would like to see across the district, because I think that this is something that helps students be more academically directed as opposed to socially misdirected. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of this in our schools in the future.
I agree. I got to attend the event as well. I love seeing the smiles on the kids' faces. They were enjoying it. They had a blast. There was a lot of different things, from painting to using Legos to build. A lot of us also participated in Central School's Literacy Night, which was a lot of fun, going and reading to the families and the students and watching the kids as you're reading the book, and then like asking questions and getting involved and answering the questions. A lot of us also attended the high school drama club's presentation, their performance. It was a lot of fun. I laughed a lot. It was great. I love seeing all the good things that are starting to happen in Banning. Not to act like they weren't happening before, but like seeing more good things happening in Banning and seeing those positive highlights on our great kids, because we have amazing students and amazing staff. And I want to thank all of you for staying, and have a great day.
So I I also went to the avid reading night at Central. Absolutely loved it. That's my first time doing that, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I love looking at the kids' faces, watching them watch read the pages in the book, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it, and I hope for more opportunities like that. I did not get to go on the sidewalks. I really like work, but I do look forward to visiting the sites more. And I'm very excited to go to the Washington DC trip this weekend. Hopefully we'll get to rub elbows with some VIPs and we'll do some advocating for our kids here. I'm excited for that. I'd love to see more done for our district from the higher ups. And I want to say a big congratulations to Mr. Valdivia. You are leaving some extremely big shoes to fill. And very grateful for all your hard work you've done here, making this house Bronco strong. And I want to say thank you to everybody for coming and staying tonight. It's been a long day, and I'm grateful for everybody and everybody providing information, answering all our questions. So thank you all for your hard work.
Thank you. All right, so I want to congratulate and welcome again Ms. Carlton, our new AP, and Mr. Valdivia in your new role at the CWA. I hope you enjoy it and continue to make a big impact in our community. I also wanted just to reiterate that last night we did attend the award ceremony at the county level, and it was really impressive and amazing to see our students to be honored and to see the parents there for all their hard work as well. So it was a great experience. I'm very proud of our students and our staff that helped guide them there. Family reading night was a lot of fun, like the ladies have shared. It was great to be all together on separate classrooms, but together, being there for our families and our students. And so, as Ms. Troutman shared, I hope that we're given more opportunities to actively participate in these events and engage with our community. It's just really rewarding to be part of that and be welcomed. Also, I did attend with the ladies the Dean Day at Hoffer, and that was a lot of fun as well. I really enjoyed engaging with the kids and their activities and just seeing their perspective and how they were processing the activity and problem solving, and was able to get a lot of great ideas to do with my own children as well. I know that there's a lot of great events coming up. The chess tournament is next, or I believe it's next week at Nicolette. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that was given to all of our sites to participate in that chess tournament. I truly do believe in exposing our kids as much as possible to everything, because it just opens their imagination and their perspective of this world. I know state testing is coming up. It's not the funnest. I know it can be really stressful, and I know that we do have a lot of tests that we have been doing, even the Banning Common Core assessment. I think it's called Common Assessment. And then on top of that, state testing. So I know it's a lot. So I'm hopeful that we give each other grace, and our kiddos too, because they get exhausted as well. I'm sure that they're going to do amazing on their testing. And congratulations to our students who have accepted their college acceptances. It's exciting as they start a new journey soon. And I did attend the play with my kiddos. Was able to see several of the ladies there, and it's really exciting to see our students and what they do, and it's impressive. They remembered so many lines without looking at a paper. I was just like, how do your little brains do that? And so it's a lot of skill sets that our students are learning, and I appreciate our staff for being there for them and guiding them. And as always, I am here and available. If there's any concerns or questions, I am happy to be that bridge to get those answers and clarifications and to make our district better. Thank you. Okay, item 12.1, future board items. 7. The training with CSBA, the new beginning
What do we find out about that? I don't think they're doing it anymore unless the posted.
Okay, we can follow up with the FBA, but I do believe that we should participate in a training with the FBA. Go ahead.
I did reach out to CSBA by phone and email, so they did not get back to me as of yet, but looking on their website, it doesn't look like the Good Beginnings workshops are an option anymore. All the material that is coming out is from old sites, so I'm waiting for them to let me know if they do offer it or if there's some things down there to go ahead and get information on it.
Okay, thank you. I can assist with that too. Since the person that mentioned it was this part of the CSB, so it's interesting that's not there, but I can do some research. You found it? Do you want to say anything? No, okay. All right, great. Any other future board items?
One of the things that we discussed was the things that Dr. Costa is going to give us a report on. So I don't know if that's a board item.
Yes. I think it's student discipline.
No, it's not the discipline one that I was concerned about. On the programs that we're using and how effective they are.
Thank you. And then also the disciplinary
Procedures.
proper procedures, just for transparency and for better understanding of our process. Anything else? No? Okay, great. And item, no, we're not going back into closed session. Okay, item 14.1, adjourn meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn. I second.
Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Reed and a second from Ms. Morales to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 4-0. This meeting is adjourned at 9 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.